But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed.
Donald Trump's decision to grant refugee status to a group of white South African farmers has sparked outrage among South African leaders, who accuse the president of promoting a false and racially charged narrative about the situation in their country.
White farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about.
The United States welcomed around 50 Afrikaners, descendants of Dutch settlers, who arrived at Dulles Airport in Virginia from Johannesburg. Greeted by Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau, the new arrivals were told they were welcome to the land of the free, as they waved American flags and prepared to be resettled across 10 US states by local refugee organizations. The move marks a stark contrast to Trump's otherwise restrictive stance on immigration, having previously shut down nearly all refugee admissions. The administration defended the decision, saying these families were victims of racial discrimination in South Africa, a claim rooted in Trump's repeated assertion that white farmers are facing genocide.
The president made it clear that Afrikaners in South Africa who were the victims of unjust racial discrimination would be welcome to come to the United States.
Trump's controversial stance echoes remarks made by his South African-born ally Elon Musk, who has similarly claimed that white farmers are being targeted in the country. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa also defended the country's new land reform law aimed at correcting historic inequalities dating back to the apartheid era, which ended in 1994. Despite white South Africans making up just over 7% of the population, they still own the vast majority of the country's farmland.
We will not be deterred. We are, as South Africans, a resilient people, and we will not be bullied.
South Africa's Foreign Minister Ronald Lamola dismissed the persecution narrative altogether, stating that the crime that we have in South Africa affects everyone irrespective of race and gender. They can't provide any proof of persecution because there's not any. Critics argue that Trump's move is politically motivated, designed to appeal to his base by elevating a racially charged story that experts say misrepresents the reality on the ground. Official data shows that the vast majority of violent crime victims in South Africa are young black men in urban areas, not rural white farmers. As the South African families begin new lives in America, the decision continues to draw criticism, not just from African leaders, but from global observers who see it as a selective and provocative use of refugee policy in service of a broader ideological agenda.
I have people that live in South Africa. They say it's a terrible situation taking place. So we've essentially extended citizenship to those people.